these billy cans are pretty famous, and for good reason. They're awesome pots. You can tell I've used this one a lot. It seems like there's always one big complaint about these, and that is pouring out of them, especially when you got boiling liquids. As you can see, the bale swings freely, and you can't just pour this way, and usually you can't really touch the bottom here because it's always full of something hot. And the other problem is that it ends up putting your hand directly over where all the water vapor is rising, which is very hot. Now this thing came with some plastic clips on here that were stuck on the side. I honestly have no idea what they're all about. I popped mine off before I even washed the thing, because I just knew, as clumsy as I am, I would melt those things on my electric stove top. So there's no way that I was going to keep those things safe from a campfire. So I popped those things off. And I've seen other people make little fancy metal clips and some other things that go on here. But for me, that just tells me that I either got to have something to slide it up and down, or I'm going to burn my fingers, or I need a multi-tool or anything else. And when it comes to cooking and boiling water, I just want to keep it as simple as possible. And when I'm dealing with something hot, I don't want to mess with sliding anything around. So interestingly enough, one of the easy ways I found to pour out of these was just watching a Ray Mears video. And often when you watch his videos, one of the interesting things is you see him do a lot of stuff, but you're never really going to get in-depth explanation. So what I ended up seeing him doing was pouring out of the pot like this, and so it looks rather easy. Seems pretty simple, pretty obvious even, and maybe this is something everybody knows, and I'm just slow, which is quite possible. But so what I did is, after seeing that video, is I went back to just at the kitchen sink, played around with 15-20 minutes trying to do it, and after about 20 minutes, my wife comes over and is like, "Yes, it's a pot. What are you doing?" You know, so it's kind of silly, but the concept is, you know, instead of trying to pour in the direction where this thing swings freely, if you tip this thing up, the bale is supporting the billy. Now, if I rotate the handle counterclockwise, it tips that way. If I rotate it clockwise, it tips that way. So you can both pick the can up, and by rotating the bale, you can control which way it swings. So if I'm going to pour out of this, instead of trying to do like this and deal with the hot steam in my hand and playing with the bottom, I can just pick it up, rotate it a little bit to get the tilt, and pour right over the handle. I can show you that real quick. So you just pick it up, get it about to where the water's coming out, give it a little bit of twist to get it the way you want it, pour it right over the handle. Now, if you want a little bit more control, and what that has, I mentioned when you pour this way, you know, trying to deal with this with the stick is way too heavy. There's just too much volume in there trying to poke a stick at the bottom. But when you have it up this way, you really don't need to support the weight. You're already holding the weight. So if you do happen to have a stick, you can stabilize it just a touch. Now this is really stable and easy to pour. So just thought I'd share that, something super easy that all this time I didn't know. So I figured maybe there's a couple other people that didn't know, and maybe you already did.